Good morning, you guys. How are y'all? I am Dr. Lia Abney, author, speaker, and consultant of and owner of Lia Abney LLC. You guys, good morning. How are you guys doing? Um, Thank you for joining me. If this is your first time, thank you so much for joining me on today. You guys, I got a great episode for y'all today and a great topic. I hope that it will resonate with you as you're listening to it. And if this is your first time, I want to ask you to share this particular episode with your family and friends, those that you know that are seeking to have a balanced life. Again, my name is Dr. Lia Abney. Y'all know what I like to do at the top of the morning. I like to talk about the weekend. How was y'all weekend? How was y'all week? Did you find yourselves accomplishing any of your goals? And again, if this is your first time, go ahead and put it in the chat and say good morning. Tell me where you are watching from. If you are watching it later and this is a replay, put hashtag replay. And I want to thank you guys again. You guys, I had a long week. I had a long weekend. I am tired, but it is a good tired. It's not like, oh, I'm tired, even though my body feels that way. But you guys, long weekend. My last and only seed graduated this weekend, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, a lot of emotions. Hanging with her big brother, who is my youngest son. Uh, so they all three are out on their own. So I guess this is where the real empty nesting really begins, because sometimes when your child's off in college, you want to say you're empty nesting. It is really not empty nesting because, you still have to help them through the process. And she knocked it out the box. I couldn't be more prouder as a mom. Even as a woman, if I had known her, as a young lady, I would have been like, wow. Her journey is her story, of course. She had challenges just like any college student, but she handled it like a champ and graduated with a degree in mass media from Valdosta. They had a great ceremony. It was different because I've never attended a nighttime graduation before, but it was wonderful. It was really wonderful. Thankful for family and friends who had reached out and said congratulations. Thank you so much. Those who played a very pinnacle part of her life's journey since we moved here to Georgia. So I want to thank everybody for that too. You guys, there's some times when you want to see things happen so badly, as I'm talking this year about having a balanced life. But sometimes, what happens when things don't happen right? What happens when these things pop up that kind of flips things upside down in your life, right? So I'm going to be talking a little bit about that today. And I do hope that you guys stick with me because, like I said, I have another great topic for you guys. So stay tuned and I shall be right back.
Black G.
Hey, good morning. Hello, and welcome to Keep It Moving Monday Morning Motivation. I want to thank you guys for joining this morning. I am Dr. Lia Abney, and I want to thank you all for being here today. I am an author and I am a speaker, and I'm also the owner of Lia Abney LLC, offering services to help you keep it moving towards your goals and towards your dreams. If you want to learn more about what I have to offer, please visit my website at liaabneyllc.biz. That's liaabneyllc.biz. Y'all, I'm working off the sleepiness. I'm working it off. I'm here because I really want to be here. I didn't want to just delay this. Again, and again, if you are here for the first time, please say good morning in chats. Speak to, chat with me in the chats. And if you have any questions, please just go ahead and drop them in there, and I definitely will respond to them. But I do want to say, share the page, share it with family and friends that are looking to do things differently in their lives. Those who have watched previously, one of the things I am very big on is that how I start the year is not how I want to end the year. And that you're talking about 12 months, right? There's 26 weeks in the year, and then we know there's 365 days, right? And then if you doing work hours, 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week, that's a total of almost 2,080 hours of work time. But somewhere in there, you may find that you want to create balance in your life. You want to, not find yourself in the same place at the end of the year where you started. And then going into the next year, you don't want to turn around and find that you're still doing the same things. So that's what I do. I help you identify barriers. I help you to create goals that are achievable, and then also provide accountability for you. But remember that this is all about you doing the work. And so if you are very serious about changing your life and want to see things differently happen in your life and achieving things, then please visit my website. And also you can watch episodes on my YouTube channel at Lia Abney LLC and all social media platforms. Except I'm not on TikTok, y'all, not yet. I'm still trying to build up the confidence for that. But I do want to welcome you guys here this morning and for today's topic. So on today, I will be discussing with you strategies for managing risk and uncertainties that occur in your life, right? Those of you who've been on this journey for me, life doesn't just happen smoothly all the time. And if you've had one of those life, I really commend you. Please put in the chat your formula for that. And I'm not being facetious, I'm being for real, for real. Please put it in the chats what that is, because we all could use some of that. Even with my children, all of my children, I had them C-section. I had no normal births with them, but they all have had their own different challenges. And my daughter, she's had her challenges where she's had to talk to me the last 2 months, maybe 3 months, 4 months, since January, pretty much. Where she's almost had to talk to me every day because of the frustrations of trying to finish up her capstone so she can graduate. And then on top of that, those of you who know, I was going through my own journeys. And so sometimes there are things that happen, the uncertainties that happen in your life. But what about managing risk when you are, deciding to take a leap? Like even for me, I'm going through the process right now of, where where I am making a decision to really retire. I know y'all have heard me say this time and time again. Okay, Lil, you said it enough. When are you really going to do it? And making that decision. Why? Because it's a risk when you're talking about somebody who's have bills, right? And in their 50s and late in their 50s, I'm getting ready to turn 57 this year. I'm like, okay, Lord, do I really take this leap and do this? Because there's still bills that has to be paid. Even though I'm by myself, well, I'm not by myself, but I am, if my kids are grown and it's me, and Now, do I take this risk, of retiring? Because then how are the bills going to get paid? How is the mortgage going to get paid? How do I manage that risk? When I take that risk, how do I manage that? But there have been other risks that I've had to take as well, even when it came to deciding whether or not I'm going to join a particular coaching program that was going to be at a level of where I had to invest in it. How do I take that risk? What about buying a house or buying a car? How do you manage those risks when they happen? And then on top of that, what about the uncertainty that occurs at that time? So before we get started into it, let me share the topic for today. So the topic for today is a balanced life, navigating and building resiliency and managing risk. Okay, and managing risk and those uncertainties that occur in your life. Our base scripture for today is going to be Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. And this is one that I've shared before. So trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him and he will make your path straight. There's something really specific about this topic because I understand that as I am taking risks, as I'm first facing uncertainty in my life, I understand that it doesn't come from my understanding and my ability to be able to navigate that. Because I can make the mistakes. I could get emotional. Okay. I'm a Libra, y'all. Okay. Making decisions doesn't come easy. And it's not because it doesn't come easy. It's because I think about it so hard. I'm contemplating it so hard. I am like making sure that I want to make the right decision. So it takes me a minute to make a decision because I need to have all the facts. I need to know what's going to happen if I do this or if I do that, because I don't want to make the wrong decision and find myself in a worse position than I am before. But what happens is it prevents me from making timely decisions. And then on top of that, it prevents me from trusting decision that I've decided to make. So I'm like delaying it. Okay, so I don't know if you're ever like that. It's like, you delay it. You may have other reasons why you delay it, but there are some times that we delay it. And so this particular scripture, Proverbs 3, 5, and 6, like literally, I have it in front of me. It's like in my bedroom. And it reminds me that when I'm doing things, that I can take heart in knowing that if I lean on God's word, if I lean on his strength, then I don't have to delay making decisions, because then I can make decisions based on what his word says and how he is speaking to me at that time. And so that's how I find myself having different successes and blessings in my life and how I'm working out. Because when it comes to creating a balanced life, it is about what you are putting in action. Not sitting around and waiting for something to manifest itself when you have done nothing at all to help that process. Because a lot of times the resources, the opportunity is right there in front of us, but then we're expecting it to work itself instead of us putting the work in to see it manifest in our lives. So today's topic is navigating uncertainty and building resiliency and managing risk. So as we navigate through this life that we're in, we do encounter risks and uncertainties that also hinder our progress towards having a balanced life. But there are three ways that we can use to identify and managing these risks that we find ourselves in. So today I'm going to be sharing 3 tips for managing risk. And this will probably be a very short episode on today, but I hope that you do find something in here that will resonate with you, that as you are finding yourself taking risks, that you also implement these 3 steps in order to manage them. And I would say the first thing is when you are managing risk, take the time to walk away from it if you can. Sometimes it's in our mind, and sometimes we have to set that thing down. and assess it. You want to be able to assess that risk, okay? So that's the first step. The first step is you want to assess it. You want to first be able to identify and assess the risks that you're facing, because in Proverbs 27 and 12, that's Proverbs 27 and 12, it says that the prudent see danger and take refuge, but the simple keep going and pay the penalty. There are some times when we're managing risk, there is a penalty that has to be paid. Now, that penalty doesn't mean something very bad. It could be as much as, okay, whatever it is that you're hoping for, wherever it is that you're looking to achieve, may be delayed for a moment. It may mean that you may have to invest in something. It may mean that you have to put a little bit more work into it. So taking that time to assess the potential risks in whether it's your personal or your professional lives also will help you to prepare for and able to mitigate those risks as well. And what I mean by mitigate is being able to decide, how am I going to handle this? Am I going to, put my head in the sand and act like it's not even there and it will fix itself, or you just going to ignore it? Okay. And we know sometimes when we ignore things, what? It gets worse. It does not get better. But are we going to prepare ourselves by, number one, did you have an accountability person to help you navigate your decision process, and talking to somebody? And that means having somebody smarter in the room. You heard me say this before. If you're the smartest person in the room, you may want to assess your circle of influence and connect with somebody that will actually have the resources and the knowledge you need in order to make that decision. Whether it's buying a car, maybe it's going to college, going back to college, maybe it's seeking a job. Right now, my daughter, prime example, my daughter, she graduated from college. Yes, I could easily bring her back home and help her with the college and looking for a job and everything like that. But that's not the plan we had for her. What we prepared for her when she graduated was that she's going to go stay with her brother, my youngest son, and his I say it's his wife, but they're because they've been together for a while. But his future wife, because his fiance, and they're going to help her navigate through the hiring process, being able to find a job and everything, because that's the process that we have set up. We have a plan in our family that the younger siblings would transition to them, and they help them navigate their next journey in their life. And I am so thankful that that's how we have it set up. Again, we have a plan, right, to help them. We have something to mitigate what was that next journey for them. Now, did that come easy? No, because we had to set her up. I had to drive her there. I had to set her up in at the house, make sure she had everything she needed. In that process, she injured her foot. So we had to go buy her some shoes where she had some slides. And so, navigating through the city, doing that, make sure she had some groceries, stuff that she needed, as far as food and stuff, and get her set up. And then I got on the road and I came back home, which was like a 2.5 hour drive. You guys, all of that, it was stressful. It was stressful for me. And then get up this morning in time for this. But before I laid down last night, I prepared for this. It's like, and you guys are like, well, why didn't you prepare before you went to the graduation? Girl, y'all, there were so many things going on. Again, things doesn't go smoothly like you want to, but do you have a plan? Are you sticking with it even when you don't understand why it's going to happen the way it's happening? And again, I trusted God. I leaned on his understanding to be able to still, despite everything that happened, despite all of the wonderful things that happened, there were some bumps in the roads on the way. And mind you guys, I have a slash in my tire, but I made it home. It wasn't to the point where it flattened my tire, but it's very noticeable. And I'm like, oh, how did this happen? So now I have to prepare to get a new tire because I know I'm going to need a new tire. Again, even though blessings happen in your life, I'm going to slow it down because I know it's talking real fast. Even though blessings happen in your life, there are some times where risk does happen. Things, uncertainty does pop up. So there are a lot of good things that happen. There's some risks, involved with, okay, would it be cost less for her to be with me than to be in Atlanta? Because guess what? There's still some financial risk with her being there because I have to make sure that she has what she needs to stay up there with her brother. So it does not put any undue pressure on his finances. Okay, so there are some things that we had to prepare, we had to mitigate. So the next thing I want to talk about is definitely you want to develop a plan. Okay, I want to talk a little bit about that plan. So after you identify the risks that you have, the next step is definitely to develop a type of plan. And I know some of you are like, Leah, this is a lot of work. When you are wanting to achieve something that you desire, one of the things that I find now is having a plan. Okay. And we know in Jeremiah 29:11 that God says, I know the plans that I have for you. Now, if he knows what those plans is, and then also, we know about the scripture with the vision, write the vision and write it plain. I am a big advocate of writing things down. When I write things down, it helps me to meditate on it so I then know what action to take next. So I don't find myself being uncertain or making rash decisions. This is where we make rash decisions when we don't know what we're doing, when we don't know what action we're going to take next. So like a lot of people, you have a financial plan. Why not have a plan for the rest of your life, how you make decisions when risk shows up in your life? Fortune 500 companies does this all the time. That's why they're Fortune 500 companies. So why not apply those same methods with your own life? So this plan is not going to be very big. So it's just going to outline the steps so that it minimizes the impacts of risk and also provides a path of recovery, a path to recovery. And that's the thing. You want to be able to recover from any uncertainties and any risk that happens in your life. And you want to recover from those. You don't want to remain in those. Remember, I stated in the beginning, a lot of times when we are still in that same situation or the same status in our life from January to December for 365 years, 65 days, and going into the next 365 days, is because we don't have a plan that provides a path to recovery when risk occur or uncertainty occurs. So Proverbs 21:5 reminds us that the plans of the diligent lead surely to abundance, but everyone who is hasty comes only to poverty. We must develop a thoughtful and comprehensive plan, which involves those who you trust. So your mentor, those that are in your circle of influence to help you manage those risks. The great thing about it is you don't have to do it alone. My daughter, whether you realize it, look at it this way or not, my daughter graduating from college. There's a risk with that because the risks and uncertainties that occur when you graduate from college, and I'm sure everybody knows that. Even when you decide to move from one job to another, there is risk and uncertainty that applies to that. But when you involve your circle of influence, your family and friends, and those who you trust in that process, it does help you to successfully manage those risks. So the next thing that I want to talk about is during that time period, you don't want to just have the plan in place, but you do want to monitor and review it. Okay, so that final step in managing risk and being able to address any uncertainty that occurs in your life is that you want to with that plan, you want to review it often. It's not something you write down, whether it's in your phone, whether it's in a journal, a piece of paper, whether it's on a calendar. It doesn't have to be fancy. Maybe your plan may be certain tasks or steps that you're going to accomplish, and you just put them in the dates of you. put it in your calendar on certain dates. You're going to do this. It's no different than when you're paying your bills. That's a plan. It helps you what? Not miss the payment, and also make sure you're managing your money to pay the bill. That is the same thing with any decision or any goal that you want to achieve in your life. And at the end of the year, you will see some type of results. You may not be at the end result that you're looking for or the final result. It may not happen to the next following year, but you'll at least know that you made progress. But also, I want to remind you, celebrate the steps and the progress that you're making along the way. So again, that final step is definitely monitor and reviewing the plan regularly. You want to bring that thing out. You want to make sure that you're still on task in accomplishing and managing those uncertainties as well as those risks. And also, just to encourage you, Proverbs 4:26 and 27 does advise, give careful thought to the paths for your feet and be steadfast in all your ways. Do not turn to the right or to the left. Keep your foot from evil. It's important that we stay vigilant and also make adjustments to our plans as needed to ensure we remain on the right path towards a balanced life. You guys, I want to thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope that you got something out of today's topic on episode 58. So as you are navigating through life's uncertainties, it is essential to trust in the Lord and also to take practical steps in managing risks. And by assessing the risk, you're developing a risk management plan and also regular monitoring and reviewing of your progress. We can achieve a more balanced life. Remember, Proverbs 3:5-6, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not in your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him and he will make your path straight. I want to thank you again for joining me on Keep It Moving Monday Morning Motivations. May God bless you on your journey towards a more balanced life. And again, please join me. Please share. Please share this episode for those who are in your family, your friends that you know that could benefit from this episode. And I definitely will look forward to seeing you again.
Are you connected to the right resources to grow and achieve your goals in your personal life or for your business? Let Lia Abney LLC Consulting Services help you connect, communicate, and commit to the building process of growing your business to the next level. A veteran with over 20 years of managing multi-million-dollar projects, Lia Abney, owner, author, and motivational speaker, has keen insight and knowledge in the value of collaboration and strategy planning to keep you moving to the next level in building a legacy. Visit her website at www.liaabneyllc.biz. That's www.liaabneyllc.biz for more information.